What I really love about hearing from the service providers is what they're thinking about for the future. You know, we spend so much time today in the weeds, deploying equipment and hooking up all the gizmos. And sometimes it's great to think about where's technology headed and how are we going to ultimately protect our stores and do better in the overall business operation.
Which I think is part of the baseline of this whole NRF Protect brand. I mean, they said yesterday that just the LP focus is expanding so rapidly to all these other business challenges like data security that they wanted to really even focus the brand a bit more to protect every asset of the business, even intellectual property, yeah?
That's right. And you know, when we think about all this new technology, back in the day it was about how do we hook up these cameras and how do we run them over the pipe, and those battles back and forth between the CIO and the IT network administrators to the loss prevention department. And now, isn't it funny, here we are a decade later, and we're talking about how do we collaborate on data protection and working with law enforcement, responding to major incidents, but we're still having those discussions now about how do we hook up those cameras, and the IT group coming to loss prevention saying, hey, we need better visibility of our business. We need more analytics, people counting and flow and et cetera.
Operations, knocking on the door.
General operations.
Right?
So it's super exciting to watch the overall business. And ultimately, where do we go from here? We're going to hear from a few more service providers, and then all afternoon we have sessions lined up to talk about what's going on in the business. How do we work with law enforcement? And we'd love your feedback.
Yeah. I mean, do we need to mention the hashtag again? Hashtag NRF LP14.
You can
We're
always
monitoring it.
That's right. And you can always send tweets directly to Amber or I.
Yes.
It's LaRocca J or at Amber Virgilio.
That's right. That's right. We welcome the positive glowing reviews.
We love the
of our
glowing reviews.
performance.
That's right.
We're giving our own glowing reviews. Right?
And if you don't like what you see or hear, you can blow up my phone later. But for now, we want it all positive.
Don't click that little X box.
That's right.
Not it. Don't do that.
Here's why you want to stick around. What we talk about here live today, you're right on the edge of the new information coming out here at the conference.
It's historic.
It's
what
historic.
This is. It's almost like an LP show in a box, but better.
That's right.
So if you couldn't make it this year, you know you're going to be here next year, right in our live audience.
And we can't promise that all of this material is going to make it to the feed online. So there might be a few outtakes. You never know when Amber and I might botch something up, like
you never know.
Like NRF Protect versus LP Protect. Duh, we should probably know that. It is really NRF Protect. Sorry about that. Ultimately, it's a great show next year in Long Beach, California. You know what? This is a good opportunity for retailers, and if you can't get a paid attendance ticket to come out, the expo hall is open at no charge. There's a number of service providers and events that take place. We're going to tell you more about that in just a minute. We're going to be going back to Gus Downing right after this short break.
But before this short break, I think we should talk a little bit about your perspective.
But what's short?
I mean,
But I like short breaks.
Short breaks are always fun. Well, you don't take a short break.
Okay, you don't get a short break, and I'm going to talk now about what's on my agenda. So, down on the show.
We all care about Joe's agenda, right? What about my agenda?
Well, okay.
My agenda is to be here with you, covering your agenda. Go.
Well, my agenda was to be here. I've got it right here.
I think we should look at our screen and figure out this burning hashtag question that's just popped up, and it says, at LaRocca J, what is your summer theme? And I think I know what it is. Can I tell him? We talked about this. You were out at the WZ party a little later than I was. So Joe's summer theme, just so everyone knows, this is breaking news right here.
I'm embarrassed. I'm like, I think I'm getting
Don't be embarrassed.
Sweaty.
Joe's summer theme is sun's out, guns out. Sun's out, guns out. If you see him on the beach later today, guns will be out.
I didn't think
We're not
you'd
talking
ever
about
share
ORC.
that. You weren't going to share that.
We're not talking about ORC guns, so please, everybody relax. We're talking about Joe's guns.
Yeah.
Did you work out this morning?
Yeah, no. That was it was a late night. Okay, but here we are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
He's bringing it back to why we're here, folks.
What's going on around us? We're broadcasting live from the second floor of the convention center. Down below us is the expo hall, which is full of service providers showing off the latest technology.
The latest and greatest.
From around the industry. New gadgets, old gadgets, some block and tackle stuff that you've seen for years. And what's happening upstairs and some other rooms are education sessions. You know, if you've never been to one of these conferences, I think, since you asked the question, the most valuable point I get out of these conferences, you meet everyone. All the senior leaders from the industry are right here. You get to meet them face to face. And when you have those issues or you have those questions that come up about, I wonder how I wonder how my competitors run this part of the business. I've never found a more important segment of retail than loss prevention, because crime and crisis really have no boundaries. We share
I like
information
that.
and we network and we learn from one another at these very conferences.
That could be a hashtag no boundaries, but we're going to send it back to Gus in 1 second.